You have just landed and the bags are really heavy. Your phone battery is so low, and suddenly 10 people are asking taxi, taxi, taxi. This situation is something an international student would 100% face. And this is actually the moment when students lose money and lose the peace of mind. Let's stop the time, slow everything down, and no pressure, no rushing. But let's think and talk more about this airport environment. And I'll explain your airport transport options like an elder brother, as I always do. What's worth it and what's not, and how you can choose your options calmly at that time. Why this actually matters? Because your first ride in Australia sets the tone if you are getting overcharged, or if you're choosing a wrong option, or if you're in panic or agreeing to everything. I know everyone start their journey with a little stress and a little anxiety. And you know what? Transport from the airport is actually not about saving money. It's about safety, cost, and energy that you have left at that particular time. So let's talk about this in this video. Let's go forward. Hey guys, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is your KapsLock, and today we are back with a video which you have been asking for, which is the starting airport transfers, how you're gonna do as an international student. If this is your first day and you're watching this video maybe on the airport, you need to know what to do now, and I will explain you everything elaboratively. But before starting, make sure to subscribe my other channels, follow me on Instagram, so that you can have different videos and updates from there. And if you want to connect to the community, I have made a Telegram group in which there are almost 5,000 or more than 5,000 international students right now, and that number keeps on increasing. It's all free. You can go connect to the people and get help from each other and get connections. So let's talk about this topic today. Well, as always, I've written things on my iPad, which is taxi, Uber, or airport transfers in Australia. Usually I write while I'm speaking in the video, but right now I've written major things here just to keep you posted about what the information is going to look like. Well, anyway, so you have different options. Let's talk one by one. First is the Uber, which is obviously the most common choice most of the students take. Let's start with the Uber because everyone knows about it. You know when Uber actually makes sense? When you're so tired, you're having 2-3 heavy bags, your accommodation is far from the train stations, and you're arriving late night. And usually typical costs that you have in Uber, if I'll give you a rough idea, it's gonna be obviously airport to city is gonna be higher than a particular train, if I'll compare, and airport to suburbs can be reasonable because if you're sharing it just in case. And as I mentioned, it's gonna be higher to city compared to train. I'll choose it. Okay. Important Uber reality is price changed with demand. If so many students are arriving on platforms, or I would say airport, at the same time, for example, in the February intake, there will be so many students coming on random days. So demand will be high, means the price is obviously going to be higher. Well, and obviously there's one more thing, which is the peak hours. If the hours are peak, means 9 to 5, then the price is obviously going to be higher of the Uber, and sometimes it gets super high. Anyway, so this is where Uber becomes a trap. Keep these points in mind. If you see this price jump suddenly, I would say close the app, wait for 5 to 10 minutes, and then check again. Don't rush in. Well, there are some mistakes as well which students usually make with Uber. Usually is booking immediately without even checking the price. You can obviously check the price. It's just a phone, it's just an app. You know how to use it. Not checking luggage size versus the car size. Always check the car size and always check the price. And standing in the wrong pickup area, it's a mistake. It's not a big mistake, but it's still a mistake. So wrong pickup. Always follow airport Uber's pickup signs, and I can talk about Melbourne airport. There are different arrows placed on different locations to make you go or escort to the exact location where you can have your Uber car. Drivers cannot stop anywhere they want. They have their certain locations where they can actually stop and get you. So, well, anyway, the next option which we are talking about is taxis. So, if you're using it, I would say use carefully. Why? Taxis are available at every airport, but listen it carefully that taxis are okay only if the distance is short, or you know the approximate fees that's going to be used, or the meter is on. Make sure to check it. Well, taxis are sometimes not good and can be risky. When drivers are offering, taxis can be not okay or risky when the drivers are usually giving you fixed price, or there's no meter or the behavior is not good. So if the taxi driver says cash only, cheaper price, that's a signal to step back, because that's not legal what she's doing. In Australia, legit taxis use meters, and you're allowed to say no if you don't want to go with them. Don't feel awkward, and your safety, yes, always remember. I just want to mention before anything, the safety, that's the biggest point. Your safety is the biggest concern you or your family can have. So think about it before choosing any point. But anyway, coming back. So the option 3 is SkyBus or Airbus, which is best value for many people. And it's one of the best options for new international students as well. Why? SkyBus works with fixed price. There's no bargaining. Fixed price. There's no bargain. It's luggage friendly, and it's direct to city of the state, because most of the students usually live in city. They like to live in city because of Unilotscape and all. You don't need to think much in this particular option. You just need to follow the signs, and then when the SkyBus is actually ideal, when your accommodation is in city, you're driving at daytime, you're arriving at daytime, and you're okay walking a little or taking the tram later after getting off from the bus. Well, from city you can obviously take tram or take Uber if the distance is short and the price is actually cheaper now. So first you can go with the bus, and then when you're at the location or close to the location, then you can also try to get an Uber. That saves you money, stress and time. Well, the next option is train. Yes, train exists from some airports, not all, but actually be honest, train is something that you know about. Trains are actually good if you know your routes. So this is something students might not know. It's cheap, but not always, because if they don't know, they don't know. You don't have too much luggage, it's still good, and you're mentally fresh. But there's not as many conditions as we see here with new students, because they are actually having anxiety or nervousness because they're new in this new nation. So it's fine if you don't choose it, it's fine. Well, trains are actually not great if it's your first time, being honest, because as I mentioned, you don't know the routes, or you're actually exhausted, or it's your first time. And sometimes also if you don't understand platforms. First day is not the day to test your navigation skills. Please, I've just given you this option, but it's not required to do it. Cheap is good, but calmness is better, and safety is as important as I mentioned before. Well, airport transfer services, let's talk about this. That usually gets pre-booked, right? And there are some of the services that you can obviously use as an international student. These are fixed price, driver waiting with name board, and there is actually finally no confusion, because they have your name and all is pre-booked. And it's actually good if your parents booked it already, you're anxious and you want zero thinking, you just know what to do. That's like making another flight, not flight, but something that you know that after the flight you need to go and do the second step, which is this. There's one downside of this, you know what, which is actually money, because it can be a little expensive and less flexible. So it's still better than getting scammed, but I'm just saying, these are the points. There's pros and cons, so you need to learn about it. So there's pros and cons of everything, but you need to know and learn about it, and then you can decide. So there's very important warning that actually I want to share with you in this video, which is at airports, avoid people who call you loudly. Avoid saying, hey, you can obviously avoid people who say I can help you, and you can obviously avoid people who are not wearing uniforms and don't have their official IDs. So always remember, if they don't have their IDs, or they're talking about help or uniforms, or they are talking about too loudly. So, and you know what, you do not owe anyone a response. Just keep walking to your destination, and Australia is safe, but confusion attracts opportunist people, and you need to be prepared for them. Now the last thing, which is how you can actually choose in the 10 seconds which is the best option for you. First is, how tired am I? Means, you know this, what does that mean? How much luggage do I have, and where is my accommodation? So if you're very tired plus you have many bags, then Uber or pre-booked services is still good. if it's a city location plus it's a daytime, so you can obviously choose the SkyBus or the buses. And if you're confident and the luggage is actually less or light, you can definitely choose a train. So there's no best option, I would say. There is just best for you according to your situation and your condition at that time. Well, there's one more thing that I want to mention apart from this topic. Not apart from this topic, actually connected to this topic, which is technically a reality check. How? First day transport will cost you more than usual, and that's okay. Don't try to be extra smart just to save some money on the day one, because saving $10 but stressful situation for 1 hour is not a win for you. And you know what? You have actually a lot of time after arriving at your place to optimize the cost that you paid. So it's fine. Well, coming back on this, finally you have done this journey so far. It became easy, and now you will start comparing prices confidently. Now you know what, if you will come again on the same airport or after 30 days, 50 days, in any situation at this particular airport or at least any other airports, you will be not panicking at airports because you know things now. Anyway, as I mentioned, always day one is mainly for this part, which is arriving safely at your accommodation, and you just did that. So the thing that you need to do is just relax and take a deep breath and prepare for the next day. Well, for the next day we have a different topic which I'm not going to tell you in this video because it's a surprise. That video you will definitely like it, so make sure to subscribe, wait for that video because that video is actually something as a new international student you need to learn and have knowledge about. This is KapsLock signing off. Make sure to subscribe to the channels, share this playlist and this video to someone who's thinking or is going to Australia in this February intake or upcoming intakes anytime, because the rules are, most of them are still going to be the same, even there's going to be 10 years later. This is KapsLock. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys and all the best. Bye.